Jen presented on stage, Jen from Vision Driven. And when I heard her speak, it just hit me right between the eyes that that's my problem. I just don't have it figured out. I don't know what I want. And as soon as I heard Jen speak, I went up to her right after she was done with her presentation and made an appointment to go meet with her. Hi, my name is Dan Newcomb. I live in Old Lyme, Connecticut. My business is Liquor License Advisor. We work with all the major national companies to sell liquor licenses. My overall experience with Vision Driven is very, very high. Very satisfied. I think that from the moment that Jen stepped on stage and did her presentation, and she welcomed me afterwards, with a conversation, we signed up. I never had to guess how I was going to get from here to there. I knew exactly what was happening from the moment I walked in the door. So every time you pick up the phone or you're making a decision, your decisions are all driven by what your business vision is, which leads to your personal vision. So I can actually give this to my business associates. I can give them a copy of my vision, or an employee. I can give that to them and say, this is where we're going to be in 3 years. This is where we're headed. There's no question about it. Prior to working with Vision Driven, my wife and I had sold our house in Massachusetts. We moved onto a boat, and my business was satisfactory. It was doing okay when I was doing that, not paying all the attention to it. But there came a time that it really required my attention. And we moved to Connecticut and decided to sell the boat and build a house. And really what I wanted to do was take the business in a direction that would result in me being able to go out and get another boat and get back on the ocean and still have the house and still, do the work. I joined the consulting group, masterminding. And at that event, I signed up for a VIP day. I figured that it was important enough for me to spend the money and fly from, Connecticut to Austin to work with her one-on-one. I didn't want to do a group coaching. So I decided to write the check and spend the time one-on-one with Jen. This was something I needed to do because on the inside, I was so uncomfortable, and I wasn't comfortable where the business was going, and I wasn't comfortable where my life was going, what we were doing. And trust me when I tell you, I have a great life, but I was very uncomfortable inside. So one of the benefits going through this process, being able to really think about how I can connect with my daughters, being intentional about it, and what would make them happy, and how we could build that relationship versus just winging it. The same with my mother, and my wife too. So my relationships with my whole family has shifted to a much more intentional way of treating everybody. What surprised me the most about working with Vision Driven was that the work is not as simple as I thought it might be. It really took a lot of, gut churning thought. But once we broke through, once we figured out the business model, the changes that we needed to make, and we agreed on it, and she's very, very knowledgeable. She's a very smart businesswoman who really has great input. I think what I really got was I got a consultant that really knew how to tear things apart or break things down and get me to see what needed to shift in order for me to have what I wanted. If someone is sitting on the fence about working with Jen and Vision Driven, what I'd say to them is watch me and look at what I've done with my business. 2 days ago, I got my final version of my vision. And for the last 3 weeks since I started with Jen and we had a draft, I've been working with my team, getting clarity, and we've moved this whole thing around. Our whole business model's changed. We're well down the path of making the shifts that we need to. And more importantly, I think, is that I'm leveling up my game, because for me to get what I want in 3 years, I can't be the same person that I was 2 weeks ago or a month ago. And so I can focus on what I'm doing. And that's because of Jen and Vision Driven. So if you're on the fence, don't be on the fence. Just do it. You'll see.